or Thursday, everybody. It's not Friday yet. You see where mine's at. Hey, we're so excited to talk about the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired. It's a state agency, and I've got their executive director, Beth Cunningham, with us today. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. Thanks for taking some time. Doing the work you do is so impactful to the community. And I can't wait to hear more about the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and a little bit more about the services that are provided and how we can help. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins, Beth. It's
Okay.
Delta Dental of Idaho. And as you know, Delta Dental of Idaho has been providing best-in-class dental insurance benefits to Idahoans and businesses for over 50 years. And with that, I'm going to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Okay.
Did you know that 20% of patients wear braces between the ages of 20 and 60? Looking good, adult peeps.
I picked that one today, Beth, because orthodontia appointments for all kids all this month. Anyway, Beth, these chamber check-ins are great ways to share our member stories, products, and services. And I think it's really cool to help share what your agency is doing, and then share a little bit about your background too. So why don't we start with you, Beth? Tell us a little bit about your background that led you into being the director for the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Okay, thanks, Paul. So I came to the commission in 2016. I began working in the disability field in 1993, so almost 30 years ago, after I finished my master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. So I've had a lot of different jobs in this field. I have worked as a vocational evaluator, a vocational rehabilitation counselor. I was the director of an employment services program at Community Partnerships of Idaho, which is a community rehab program. I did vocational expert witness testimony for Social Security disability hearings, and I taught and worked as a clinical faculty in the University of Idaho's rehabilitation counseling program. And then, so I started in Idaho with the state at the Idaho Division of Voc Rehab, and then in 2016 came back to the state to the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Well, so you're pretty qualified.
Thank you.
And then, so since 2016, you've been with the agency, and I have a little bit of a background with the agency. Back in 1991,
Okay.
I actually came down to your office that you're still in the basement on
Okay.
4th and Front, or 4th and
Washington.
4th and Washington. I went down at like 6:30 in the morning, and I read the newspaper over the radio waves to the blind and visually impaired community.
Yeah, great.
And obviously that program, is there still something like that that's offered?
We don't have that radio reader program anymore, but what Idaho has is something called Newsline. And if you're blind or visually impaired, it's free for you to belong to Newsline, and you can get all kinds of different news as well as periodicals. And then the Commission on Libraries also has a talking book program that they actually mail out books.
That's right.
to individuals, and they have a player that comes with it that you can play the book on, and then when you're done, you just ship it back, and they ship you a new book. So
that's a really cool service. And since we're talking about the services, let's start from the very beginning. When did the commission begin, and why did it begin? Tell us the origin story.
Okay, so the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired became an agency in 1967. So we celebrated our 50th anniversary in 2017. Prior to 1967, all disabilities were served by one agency, and blind citizens of Idaho lobbied for their own agency to better meet their specific needs with blindness and visual impairment. So back in 1967, it became its own agency. Currently, we have 41 staff all across the state. 25% of our staff are blind or visually impaired, and we have offices in Boise, Twin Falls, Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Lewiston, and Coeur d'Alene.
So obviously there's a need.
Yes, there's definitely a need.
Well, tell me, educate me on what's the percent of population that are blind or visually impaired, Beth?
So in Idaho, we have about 2.9% of our population that is blind or visually impaired, and that is about 40,000 Idahoans. The national percentage of prevalence is 2.4. So we are a little higher than the national with regard to our population here in Idaho.
Wow. That's incredible. That's even more important that your agency is there. Now, that's a good segue into talking about some of those services. How are you supporting those 44,000 Idahoans that are either blind or visually impaired?
Well, let me tell you what our mission is first, and because all of the services support our mission. And our mission is to empower people who are blind or visually impaired by providing vocational rehabilitation, skills training, educational opportunities, and to help them to achieve self-fulfillment through quality employment and independent living. So each of our services does support that mission. And we do a lot of different things. We teach skills to people who come to us in all phases of vision impairment. So some people are born blind, others come to us when they're losing their vision. We have an assessment and training center here on site in Boise where we teach non-visual skills such as walking with a cane, operating a computer non-visually, Braille, activities of daily living such as cooking, shopping, banking, and even wood shop. We have these that we give out to all of our students. So if they have a little bit of sight when they come, they use these shades, and this helps them to learn the confidence that they can do things completely non-visually. So students will come to us from all over Idaho and stay with us 10 to 12 weeks at a time. And we have dorms upstairs, and they stay on site and learn these different skills and have classes each day. We also have vocational rehabilitation counselors who work with individuals to help them develop vocational goals. Some clients go to training or college to work toward their goals. Others need to learn adaptive skills or be trained on assistive technology in order to continue the job that they had already been doing prior to vision changes. We have rehab teachers who work with individuals in their homes to learn independent living skills. For example, there's a lot of people who will lose their vision as they get older, and then they have trouble opening their mail or reading their mail or the newspaper, or need to learn new ways of doing the things they've always done, such as cooking. Our rehab teachers can go and set up their appliances with bump dots, which are little sticker dots that help them find the start button. We have, talking timers and all kinds of gadgets like that as well. And then here, down in the basement where you were referencing earlier, we have a clinic and a store, and we sell large print items like talking clocks, timers, scales, watches. We have magnifiers to help people read with magnification. And then we have a low vision clinic, Dr. Hansen, who comes here for 1 to 2 weeks a month. And he helps people to get the most out of the vision that they have. And so he's a low vision doctor. And then we, another one of our really big programs is our summer work experience program. We work with students ages 14 and up to help them to explore vocational goals and interests. And our summer work experience program just finished a couple of weeks ago. We had a lot of employers in the community working with us. The students stayed at the BSU dorms so that they could kind of get a feel for that. And some of those students even took a class this summer at BSU. So some of the different employers that worked with our students this summer were Boise Parks and Rec, the BSU Public Radio, Life's Kitchen, Computers for Kids, Guru Donuts, Riverside Hotel, Children's Therapy Place, and Socialized Marketing, and the Commission on Libraries. So it was really diverse, and it's based on, we look for sites that the students have interest in. So we hope that our partnership will continue with those employers into the future. And, there's just so much young people can learn by trying out a job, from what's expected in terms of conversation to how to dress. And so we start them young and get people in some different experiences in the summer when they're students. And one of the themes that runs through all of our services is that we're trying to teach confidence, because so much is possible when you have the confidence to try it. So that's just definitely vital to the success of young people. We also have a site restoration program where if a person doesn't have the resources and they're in jeopardy of losing their job because of cataracts, and then we can help them with like cataract surgery.
Wow. Okay. There are many services, sounds like for the youth, adults, seniors, and all stages of visually impairment. It sounds like you're helping them to keep their jobs, help build some confidence, as well as help them with skills to maybe get a job as well.
Right. Definitely.
And so I think this is a perfect little conversation too, because just to let the business community know that there's an underserved pool of potential applicants and
absolutely
with blind and visually impaired. And there's a lot of things that people can do if they have the confidence to do it and give them a shot. Right. There is a LinkedIn user asking if there's any volunteer opportunities with the ICBVI, and we'll get to that. But I wanted to let them know that I saw their question. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about any upcoming events that businesses can plug into, Beth, to help learn about how to engage with this community.
Yeah, for employers, I would recommend that they give us a call, because we do have a class that we teach that we open up often to like teachers and to employers, which is Blindness 101. And they can just call us, because we do that all over the state in different regions at different times. But I think that's a great way for them to kind of learn more about blindness and ask the questions that they might have or concerns they have. What's
the number, Beth?
It is 208-334-3220. And then they can just ask for us or ask for Greg. He's the one who sets those classes up, and then we'll get them on a list so that when we have one in their area, we can let them know.
Okay. So this is a blindness class for people to come in and learn about how to, or just questions to ask.
Yeah,
right?
Ask questions and just learn more about the skills that people have who are blind. I mean, blind people can do anything that sighted people can. They just have to do it differently. And most jobs can be adapted. And with computers today, it's amazing. So.
Right. There's lots of voiceover stuff as well as Braille. And I see Braille consistently through the businesses and offices that I go into, specifically on elevators, but I also see them in different locations. That must be quite the job as well of the agency. How do you keep up with all that?
Well, I mean, we have one teacher who teaches Braille to students who come to our assessment and training center. and we can get things brailled for people when needed, help with materials. We actually have a program that we work with the local prison, and they do brailing for us. So we send materials to them and they convert it to braille and send it back.
Oh, that's cool. That
And
would
they-
be such a great skill to learn. And then those other senses of your that you have are elevated, right? If you can't see, you can probably hear better, taste better.
You certainly pay attention to different things better.
Oh, absolutely.
And you may see people, if you're in Boise, you might often see people downtown standing at the corner with a cane and a person kind of following them. And that's our teachers that are teaching them orientation and mobility to walk with a cane. So they'll stand at the corner, listen for traffic, and learn how to do that safely.
I love it. Well, hey, I wanted to ask, how can we help? Are there volunteer opportunities for the public?
You know, we don't have a lot of volunteer opportunities right now. Although, you know, you're welcome to call us, and we, you know, can keep your information in case someone calls us with a need. But businesses, we really want to let businesses know that we're a resource for both employees to work with, and also to work with them on their diversity and inclusiveness of their business. And we're a resource for education when it comes to blindness. And so just so that they know we're out here. Another big need that we feel is important is just growing Idaho's public transportation system. Because that fits right into our mission of helping people to become independent within their communities.
I love it. We have a transportation committee that just met today. We work closely with the Valley Regional Transit and Commuter Ride as well. So I would love to invite you, Beth, to some of those gatherings just to connect that a little bit closer. Okay. Oh, that's great. Beth, I want to thank you so much for the work that you and your team do to enhance the lives of those that are visually impaired. It's just incredible. And thank you again for taking your time. We appreciate the investment that the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired makes to the community as well as the chamber.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.